Fisker is definitely in the news today. It is one of these electric vehicle stocks that is really starting to move. And I kind of have I like Fisker. It's been a long time. They've been in the market since 2011, and they make fantastic cars. They were a car company before their time, in my opinion. Once you start looking at what their car looked like on the outside, what it looked like on the inside, the tech, they were something special. They were a car before their time. When everybody else was just starting to put GPS screens in their cars and whatnot, these guys were leaps and bounds above the competition. The problem is they couldn't follow through. Let's take a look at this company just because I'm interested. So I'm going to do a little bit more than charts today. I mean, first of all, look at this car. That thing is beautiful. It sold for between 100 and 120,000 back in 2011, 2012. It was from Usapunki, Finland. Designed in California, built in Finland. But the interesting thing about Karmas is they were very driven towards this environmental movement. So the top of their cars, the whole roof was actually a big solar panel. It was a little bit of electric, so you could charge the car. It was also a little bit of gas. So on average, you were getting 52 miles a gallon. This was a very West Coast based car just because the doors were electric. So push button, open doors and close them. Not ideal for freezing temperatures here in the Northeast. Let's see what else. So they were built in California, and then a Chinese company bought them when they went bankrupt. And the reason that they went bankrupt is that their battery supplier couldn't give them any more batteries. So they built about 2,500 cars, and that was the end of it. Now it looks like they're coming back, and they're, instead of the Karma, the Fisker Karma, they're coming back as the Karma Revero. And if you guys go to their website and start building them, they are incredible. What I noticed about their website now is you can actually customize the color and interior and exterior down to however you like it. And I that's different because when they first came out, you had 3 trim lines. One was called like Ocean, one was called Desert, and one was called like Sunset or something. And you picked that, and it just gave you the layout that you got, interior, exterior, and you just went with it. So very interesting company, awesome cars. If you go to YouTube, you can look at a great review of the car. I actually almost bought one of these about 6 months ago, but the problem with it is I found one in Chicago. The problem is the closest dealership is Chicago, and nobody works on Karmas, so that was the big issue. So here's the solar panel roof, actually, that it looks like. And then the interior, I mean, this was the interior for a 2012 car. That is really incredible. And you can get them for about, I don't know, 35 to 40,000 bucks nowadays. So there's something, but let's see what they do. This is something else interesting. They are going to do some kind of partnership with Foxconn out of China. So they're going to have some big backing. This company, to me, is a sleeper in the EV world. If there's a company that is going to compete with Tesla, I do not think it's Lucid. I don't think it's any of these companies that we're talking about. NIO, nothing like that. Rivian. I think it's going to be Fisker, because Fisker has proven that they could do it before. Granted, they only got 2,500 cars off, but that was in 2011. They failed. Tesla succeeded. The difference is they have the infrastructure now. And if they get Foxconn behind them, this is something special. They make beautiful cars, and they're going to continue to make beautiful cars. This, to me, is a sleeper EV company that is going to come out of nowhere because nobody's really ever heard of them unless you're into cars. And they will do something special in the EV world. So now let's get on the chart and how to trade this thing. So this morning, they are up 24% on that news that they are partnering with Foxconn. So what's interesting is they had a little gap down yesterday, and they just gapped right back up today. And you can see in their history, this is something that I want to tell you guys before we do anything. Let's go. Let me do a 6-month chart here. You can see that this is very news heavy. We move here on little gaps here, little gaps, big rallies. So when you're playing a stock like this, just make sure you have stops in place, just because we do see these gaps based on news. So very important that we're using stops. Now let's get back into actually how to trade this thing. So we gapped up this morning. We are actually in a beautiful uptrend coming right through the sweet spot. So if you want to, you could throw some shares on it today. We got through a resistance. I personally would not throw that many shares on. Maybe throw 1/5 or 1/4 of a total position on there, just because when you get news like this, it could spring back down on you. We don't know. So definitely before you put shares on, wait until 6 after 10 to just see the overnight trading settles down. When something moves 21% before the market opens, let's just let everything calm down and see where the stock is going to end up. If it kind of holds around this 1780 range, then go ahead and put shares on. And if we get some kind of engulfing candlestick today that engulfs over this previous high, then we're gonna be onto something here. It makes me happy that we've cleared resistance. It also, now keep an eye on this, but right now there's bid and ask difference of 3 cents. That means that this is pretty warranted to move. Not saying that the value is correct, but it's pretty warranted to move. There's not a lot of manipulation coming in from the market maker. So we're gonna do this that's what we're gonna do from a long-term perspective. Daily perspective, the great thing is we're over all of our major moving averages. The one thing that does concern me overall is that we have very low volume. Maybe with this news that's going to change and we'll get some consistent volume that goes beyond the average volume each day. Remember, this yellow line right here is the average volume. I would really like to see a good stretch of maybe 7 to 10 days where we are like these green candles where we're over the average volume. But I'm not going to bank on it just because of the way that this market is and because what news just came out. So today, if you can stay above this resistance line at 1897 and make a nice engulfing candlestick, or even if it just stays here, if this thing just stays here and does nothing today and makes a little wick, but the price stays the same, and then tomorrow we get some breakouts and Friday, you can go ahead and trade this thing. We're moving into an uptrend right now. Everything is looking pretty good on this. So I am actually really surprisingly liking Fisker so far. Let's go over and check out the day trade, which should be interesting. So we gapped up this morning, obviously, and that was about, I don't know, 6 a.m., something like that. And we've started to trickle. So this thing was above $21 earlier, but we're coming back down. But it's no big deal. Let's just keep a watch on it. Right now we're up 18.5%. Remember, what we're going to need today is we are going to need this stochastic line to turn up and stay above 80% and just keep going over hopefully a long time frame where this thing just keeps climbing on us. Tough part is this thing's already gapped up about 20%. So I don't know how much room there is for this to move during the day. A 20% move is a very big move. But what we're going to need is, and those of you who have been following me for a while, we're just going to need nice engulfing green candlesticks to go up like this. And hopefully we stay above 80% for a good amount of time. Now also, this 20% move to the top could give us an opportunity to short this thing intraday. So if we start getting, let's pretend that this is the current market and the market is open right now. If we start getting these candlesticks that are just engulfing downwards and our stochastic line is below 20% down here, you could short this intraday. And it sounds counterintuitive because the stock price is up, but that's what day traders are all about. We go based on patterns. We don't go based on price. To be honest, let's say that we started shorting this, not that we could, but let's say the market was open. This thing was up 21% when we were looking at the long-term chart, and now we're up 17%. That's about 4% we could have made in a matter of minutes. So remember that when we're day trading, the stock price does not matter. We need to be focused on what the pattern is giving us and just roll with that. So that's Fisker for you. Let me do a little recap. It has been requested that I do recaps. So Fisker, awesome company, amazing cars. Go to their website, check them out. Go to YouTube, check them out. And I'm just biased because I absolutely love these cars. I really want one. They're just really, really cool. And this is something that I think they're going to be a sleeper in the EV market and come on hard. So long-term chart, we're up, moving in the positive direction. If we get engulfing candlesticks and break out above this previous high, go ahead and add. Daily chart, we're over all 4 of our major moving averages. We've cleared resistance. If we can hold resistance and kind of break out today with some engulfing candlesticks, go ahead and add to it or get into it. Day trading chart, if we keep getting candlesticks going in the down direction like this and we are below 20%, you can short it. If you get candlesticks going in the up direction with green and we're above 80%, you can go long. So that's Fisker for you. Keep a watch on this. I have not looked at their financials. I'm sure they're not good, but it doesn't really matter for us because we're trading and all we care about is pattern recognition. So you guys have a great day and hopefully you make some money. See ya.